Pyramids, pharaohs, gods. Ancient Egypt conjures up images of grandeur and mystery. Do you dream of living in an advanced civilization with rivers of gold and lavish banquets? Well, prepare to have your dreams mummified, because life in ancient Egypt was about so much more than pretty hieroglyphics, and you wouldn't last a day, especially if you like bananas.
This is ancient Egypt, circa 1500 BC, a land of scorching sun, unpredictable floods, and a social structure so rigid it would make a banana split under pressure. You are born and your position in society is already set. And no, it is not at the top of the pyramid. Your life is dictated by the Nile, the gods, and the Pharaoh. There is no time for leisure, nor for eating bananas to your heart's content. Your diet is grain-based, your body is a tool, and your mind is focused on survival. You are a cog in a gigantic machine, and cogs do not need bananas to turn.
Food is bread and beer, lots of beer, and some vegetables. Meat is a luxury, fruit, rare, and bananas, non-existent. You eat to survive, not for pleasure. And if the harvest fails, starvation is a reality, and starvation doesn't care about bananas.
You learn to read the signs of the Nile, to build dams, to store grain. Your life is a constant struggle against nature, against hunger, against thirst, and the only thing you can dream of is a day when you don't have to work so hard, and maybe, just maybe, a banana.
Now, let's talk about something more intimate. Hygiene in ancient Egypt was better than in other civilizations of the time, but even so, diseases were a constant. Contaminated water, parasites, infections. Life expectancy was low, and pain was a constant companion. You suffer from toothaches, eye infections, parasitic diseases? Egyptian medicine was advanced for its time, but still many diseases were incurable. And the cure? It often involved magical rituals and prayers to the gods. And if you were lucky, maybe a piece of bread, but never a banana.
Injuries are common, and pain is a reality. You learn to endure it, to ignore it, because there is no time for weakness. Life is a struggle, and death is a constant. And the only thing you can do is pray that the gods give you a quick death. And maybe, just maybe, a banana in the afterlife. Even if you are not a slave, your life is dictated by the social hierarchy. You are below the pharaoh, the priests, the nobles, the scribes, the military. Your position is fixed, and social mobility is almost non-existent. You are a piece on the great chessboard of Egypt, and your function is to serve. You pay heavy taxes, work on pharaonic projects, and obey orders without question. Your life is not yours. It is Pharaoh's. And if he gives you a banana, you eat it. If he tells you to build a pyramid, you build it until death.
And if you try to move up in life, well, it's almost impossible. Egyptian society is a pyramid, and you're at the bottom. The only way to move up is to be born at the top. And if you're not born at the top, well, you're stuck, like a banana in a peel.
Religion permeates every aspect of your life. The gods control the Nile, the harvest, life and death. You spend your life preparing for the afterlife, building tombs, making offerings, mummifying your dead. Because death is not the end, it is just the beginning of a new journey. And that journey has no bananas.
You believe in a pantheon of gods, in complex rituals, in a final judgment. Your life is a preparation for eternity, and eternity is long and without bananas.
Death is a constant, and mummification is an expensive and time-consuming process. If you are poor, you will be buried in the sand without rituals, without offerings. Your soul will be lost, and without bananas. So, do you think you could last a day in ancient Egypt, waking up before the sun, working in the fields, fighting disease, living under a ruthless social hierarchy, and spending your life preparing for death, all without a single banana? The truth is that life in ancient Egypt was an existence of sacrifice, hard work, and devotion. They built monuments that lasted for millennia, but at the cost of a life of deprivation. And for every banana they could not eat, they built another brick in the pyramid. So next time you watch a documentary about ancient Egypt and dream about living there, remember, the reality was much harsher and much less tasty, especially without bananas.
Life in ancient Egypt was a lesson in resilience, faith, and teamwork. They lived in a brutal world where death was a constant and life was cheap. But they found meaning in their devotion to the gods, their loyalty to the pharaoh, and their belief in an afterlife.
So the next time you complain about your job, remember, at least you don't have to build a pyramid. At least you have access to modern medicine, and at least you can eat fresh bananas at the supermarket without having to fight hippos for them.
So, do you think you would last a day in ancient Egypt? Let us know in the comments what part of Egyptian life you think would be the hardest to endure. And if you have any suggestions for other impossible ancient civilizations, let me know. If you liked this video, leave a like. It's worth more than all the Pharaoh's riches. Subscribe to the channel for more unvarnished stories and activate the bell so you don't miss any episodes. Share it with that friend who romanticizes life in ancient Egypt so he can see what it was really like.
Always remember, history is made of bananas, and the Egyptians all died without tasting one. At least you can eat bananas while watching Netflix on the couch.
See you in the next episode of Banana Stories, where we'll find out why you wouldn't last a day as a Viking. Spoiler alert, it involves even more beard and fewer bananas than you might think. Keep your bananas safe, and remember, history has never been so peeled.